What does your image look like? What is the picture that you have painted for yourself, for your future? Have you created something that you can be proud of? Or do you have this dark and dingy painting that is your life, that is something that you have put in the closet because the people that are viewing the painting aren't attracted to it? Are you even attracted to it? Do you want to sit there and look at that painting that you call your life right now? The majority of men out there, unfortunately, can't say that this is something that I would love to sit and admire. They're living a life that they just tolerate because the actions that they're taking aren't necessarily representation of a life that they want to be remembered as. And why is that? Why are we as men not willing to go out and do the things that we need to do to get the life that we want? I would challenge you to look at your environment, to look at your surroundings, the things that you are consuming on a daily basis. What is it? You can go to your most basic fundamentals, the food that you take in, the information that you take in, the people that you allow to influence your thought process. What is it that you're consuming is the best place to start to see what it is that you are producing for others. If you're reading trash, you're going to get trash. If you're listening to trash, you're going to get trash. If you're willing to be around trash people, guess what? You're going to get trash. But that doesn't have to be you, because right now you're watching a show that creates the opportunity for you to see things that may be different, that get you in front of people that have found the way to do different, to get the things that they want out of their life, even though it was difficult. Today it's for you. Improve your image. Create a painting that you are proud to put on that wall to sit at, even if others are uncomfortable to sit at and look at it because their painting isn't as beautiful as yours. Because you were willing to do the work, because you were willing to invest and consume things that will get you exactly what you want. Roll that intro. I want to thank you for joining us on the Man Up and Own It show, where we talk about the stories of the difficulties and the situations that make men uncomfortable. We share those stories in hope for you to do something better and better and better with your life. And the best thing that you can do is hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave a comment about what you think about this episode. Because today I am shared in this studio with my friend Charles Kellam.
Major grace. Major grace. Thanks for having me, brother.
Nice to meet you.
Nice
to have you here. Nice to get this experience.
Nice. Pleasure's all mine. Major grace. Major grace.
So, dude, let's start this off by telling the audience out there a little bit about this amazing visual that we got in front of us.
This is just a small visual representation of the Lord. Just a small visual representation of the Lord. It's custom. I'm a designer, so this is from a custom suit. It's a tweed. I think it's a tweed twill, part of a suit. This is a jacket. I'm really proud of my most probably prized invention. It's called a Matador. It's an Italian jacquard. It's all handmade. The shirt, I didn't make this. The tie is like Jerry Garcia, and put some nice little Bottega Oxford boot.
I knew that
basket weave.
I knew that those shoes were because of that weave pattern that they do.
So just want to feel good. I wanted to dress up for you. You said no sweatpants in the email, so I almost bought my sweatpants.
And I'd have to reschedule with you too. And I think
No.
it's a really cool thing, though, is that we have standards and we have boundaries. And when we create those standards and boundaries, it actually helps people live in their lives, no matter if it's comfortable for them or not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's get to it. Let's
All
hop
right.
into the.
So tell me a little bit about you and where you've come from.
My name is Charles Kellam. I'm from originally from Philadelphia. That's where I was physically born in the physical realm. I spent a lot of my, my up into my early adult years or late teens in Philly. That's when I kind of outgrew and I realized, the artist, the creator, the healer, the philanthropist, everything was kind of awakening inside of me. And that's when I headed west and I spent a lot of time in all around California.
Okay. Well, that was a huge difference from Philly, the freezing weather, to probably the most beautiful weather.
Arguably, yeah. Arguably. I actually like the seasons. I actually like that's what helped me with my style. When you got to layer something up and still look cool when it's 2 degrees below zero and you just like, you just want to layer up and look nice.
And now you're here in Phoenix where it's like 120 out.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's different. I actually like Phoenix. It's one of the best kept secret cities of the country, if I had to guess, of the ones I've been to. Very diverse, very great food culture, great. It's just got a great nomenclature. I like the law of the land here.
I agree. It's done wonders for my opportunities.
For sure.
Being in a place where people want to do things with themselves.
Okay.
So, tell me a little bit about your book here that you've got that you wrote. What is it, about 9 years ago?
About a decade ago.
Okay.
So my book is called The Book of Game. GAME is an acronym for Getting a Major Edge. So people see game, they be like, "Oh, you want to run game or a pickup artist?" It's a little bit of that, but it's really about holding people accountable. It's a lot of universal principles that I was tapped in. I read this book at the time I wrote this book. I mean, I published it years after I wrote it, but I'm just blown away at some of the, how tapped in I was. It was just really the Lord working through me. Universal laws in there, polarity. This is before I actually knew the name of the laws, but it's really about, you mentioned about self-care, you are what you eat. Like the old folks used to say, you are what you eat. And like you just said, my grandmother always taught me the scripture, the fruit of the righteous is a tree of life, and the one who is wise saves lives. That a tree is measured by the fruit that it bears. Mm-hmm. So a tree is valuable. A tree is really doing the work when the fruit's good.
Absolutely.
And that's the same thing with a human being. When, like we hit it off when we first met. Pause. When we hit it off about just energy, and you're somebody that you're a giver, you're a healer, you're someone who's really locked in on elevation. So you bear good fruit.
I appreciate that.
And that's what we got to work toward every day. So that's what the Book of Game essentially is about. It's about holding people accountable within, believing in yourself, confidence, and just really working on being that good fruit provider.
And how would you suggest a man to maybe start making strides towards producing good fruit? Potentially they've got a tree that's not necessarily being fruitful.
I love that you use the term fruitful. I actually have a clothing line called Fruitful Rooster. So I love that. So essentially where it all starts is confidence. Confidence, I believe it's chapter 1 or chapter 2. Maybe Honor Thy Mother is chapter 1, I think. But confidence is early on. It's basically saying that if you lock down this chapter, if you lock down confidence, the chapter in my book or the chapter in any book, the chapter in your own book of life, confidence is really the grand all be all, if you will. It's the alpha and omega. It's everything. Everything that you engage in your human experience is the result of that is an indicative of where it started, and that's confidence. Because I was just telling a good friend, I mean, if you believe in yourself in something so firmly, like only you can feel it, that's a personal experience. Mm-hmm. That's what confidence is. It's something you can't explain to your lover, your mother, sister, whoever it is. They might believe in you, they have faith in you, but confidence it's going to be the make or break on whether or not you push through and you actually excel.
I agree. How would one build on their confidence?
To build on confidence, there's a number of things. I believe that confidence comes from the spiritual realm. So you're going to receive confidence through just your surroundings, your meditation, through prayer, through dreams, through visions, through sometimes people in our lives that lead by example. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's as simple as seeing somebody. I don't watch television, haven't in decades, but seeing somebody on TV that looks like you, that's doing something, and you say, I can do that. You
start seeing the probability of the opportunity.
Right. And to put I want to add a little bit to your beautiful point for the intro. We have to be very, very, very cognizant and we have to show discernment. I'm using all my grandmom's words today. She's going to be like, I'm so proud.
Grandma's awesome.
I'm getting her scriptures. A shout out to Mom Easy. I'm giving her scriptures right now. But you got to show discernment and, like you said, what you consume. And what you consume is not just what you eat and what you drink.
Absolutely.
It's I have a chapter called You Are What You Walk. You are how you walk. You are how you talk. My mentor, Jim Rohn, he says, he got a line where he goes, poor people can talk and rich people can talk, but it sounds like rich people talk better, in your mind, because they've taken the time to learn an extra vocabulary word or, subjunctives and things like that. You are what your fragrance, the outfit choice you put, you are what you eat, you are who you surround yourself around. You can't, you won't see a Rolls Royce in the Toyota dealership trying to get a part.
No.
So if you're operating on a high level, you're vibrating at the top level, stop surrounding yourself around Suzukis.
Absolutely.
So
one thing that I have learned, that confidence, it is created through competency. Competency is the understanding of what it is that you're doing. And the more that you understand, the more confident you get. However, how do we get more competent? Well, it takes doing action.
Yeah.
It takes going out there, whether you don't know it or not, that you're willing to put in the effort to go through the motions. And the more motions that you go through, just like building muscle, I didn't have all these muscles when I first started lifting weights.
Yeah.
But the more repetition that I did and the more that I learned how to be having quality repetition and applying more intensity and more resistance, I got bigger, I got stronger. And just like that, and everything else that we do in life, we can create more confidence by increasing our competency through the actions that we take.
Through action. I love that so much because another proverb she shared, another dart, we call them darts. Pure gold is tried by fire. And the measure of the gold at the end of the fire is indicative of the fire it went through. So essentially, you don't get anything good in this life without going through some type of turmoil, and like you said, the action, that's what we call, in the East Coast, we got a term where we say in the mud. When you're in the mud, that's when you start a business with no investors, no loans. You're just on your own competence, your own internal ability, and you just all in. They call it delusional, but you need some type of delusion in order to go anywhere.
It's almost a healthy delusion in a way, right?
Of course.
And I think sometimes the people that aren't necessarily willing to be delusional get persuaded out of it by the naysayers.
Yo, We got to do more. We got to do other episodes because you're touching my heart right now.
Yeah, buddy.
These are some things that was it'll let me hanging not on TV. No, but you're right. There's so many people in this world that are enslaved to other people's perceptions of them.
Right, but once again, we go back to what you were saying about confidence. If we're truly confident in what it is that we're doing and the goal of the outcome isn't selfish, unless selfish is everybody's doing great.
Right.
Now I can do great too because people are performing at their best around me.
Correct.
If that's selfish, then by God, I'm damn selfish. But if we can strive forward to strive to be better, then the confidence of all of us should rise.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It goes, I mean, I love how you said it. It's going through the action. It's actually walking head on, seeing the fires there, identifying it, sizing it up and saying, I know what's on the other side of this. I'm going to go through it. Where most people they might can't buy it or they might just hope it goes out. Yeah. So many people just waiting for the lottery.
Absolutely.
Oh, when they might actually say that. When I hit the lottery, I'll do this. How about living your life right now as if you hit the lottery? My late grandmother, rest in peace, Nana, that's my paternal grandmother, she used to always say, there ain't no pie in the fucking sky, and what good is a slice after you die? She said, and she told me that. She used to always tell me, but it's after she transitioned to her next experience is when it hit me in my soul. Now it's part of my nomenclature. It's like embedded into my spirit. There's no, like, get your pie now. Don't wait. I got a buddy call, hey, we want to go, I think, South Africa next year. I said, next year? Hit me up when you want to go this week or next month. I'm not planning a trip for next year.
Right. Well, that's like when I met you, I was like, dude, we got to do this podcast right now.
Right. You sure did.
And you were like, sure what? I was like, yeah.
Right now.
And that's it, because this is that moment.
That's the moment.
And if we don't seize the moment, then someone else will.
Right.
So, dude, tell me something that you have gone through personally that was difficult, that when you pushed through it and you didn't give up, that led you into some of this amazing success that you were telling us about at the dinner.
I've had numerous obstacles, obviously, like we all have. Some of my fire, I'm going to be honest, this might be a little bit a deviation from your normal answer. A lot of my fires were internal with my own self. And I was also taught that a prophet is never welcome in his own home, and as I started to elevate and as I started to become more successful and living on my own terms and reaping the fruits of my own tree, I realized that a lot of the turmoil I was getting was from my own family members.
Absolutely.
So that was a tough reality, and understanding that I needed to essentially excommunicate myself from some people that I used to call family in order to really transcend mentally, because there's a lot of abuse and toxicity and things that were happening that as you elevate, you hold yourself accountable in such a high regard that it's only natural that you hold other people accountable.
Absolutely.
And if they're not adhering, just like you said about the dress code, that's something it's small to me because we're, but
this.
To the average person, it's like, oh, wow. They're always looking at the boundaries because it's hard for people to be held accountable when they're not used to doing it themselves. Right. Like, how dare you, Chris, hold me accountable? And I don't do it myself. Right. So same thing when I elevated, and as I started to transcend to next levels, I realized this is the people that are supposed to love me. This is the people that are supposed to be my biggest supporters, but they're not adhering to where I am now, and they don't want to comply. They're gone.
Right.
And that was a tough reality, but it's easy now.
Oftentimes I find it that people are projecting their own insecurities
Absolutely.
onto others, especially the ones that are going out and putting themselves in a situation that makes that other person uncomfortable. Like me doing the dinners or pushing to be healthier or challenging people to dress better. That makes them uncomfortable. And then oftentimes they project that insecurity onto me and try to hurt me or push me down so they can be comfortable.
Right.
And for a long time, I took that bad.
Of course.
I was like, damn, I'm intimidating to people.
Yeah.
I hurt people. And one of my mentors freed me of that during a seminar that we went to. And he was like, you're not intimidating. He's like, you're formidable. And you make others feel like they could do better, but they're scared.
Yeah.
And forever then I became unlocked and I was like, fuck yeah, let's do more.
Yeah, right.
And then that's how we get to meet because I started doing more. So now tell me about your more, because you said something at the last dinner that really like sparked something in me that was like, oh, this dude's doing big things.
Which was it? We talked for a while.
Well, you brought up the thing about the Wu-Tang.
Oh, yeah.
Wu-Tang is like the first rap group I ever listened to. So
yeah. So I'm doing, quiet as kept, nothing released yet. But so it started. I had someone from Onyx, legendary, but they came out within the same like
time period.
2 years.
Yeah.
And they, I'm doing a capsule collection with Onyx. We're going to do a limited luxury release. It's my partner and I. Shout out to Young Virgil. His name is Michael Hudson, but I call him Young Virgil. We are going to springboard that. We're the first. We'll be the first luxury capsule collection for a legendary hip hop group, and then we also talked about springboarding that to Wu-Tang.
And I think that's what it is, right? It's just all of these possibilities that happen because we're willing to take a chance on ourselves.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't doing these steps and these reps, these cool things wouldn't happen. And maybe you don't do something with Wu-Tang. Maybe they don't see the opportunity in that moment. And that's okay. Because next thing you know, it could be like, I don't know, another group that shows up.
Or a retail outlet or
something.
A singer or,
Yeah. And not getting disappointed in the one thing that didn't happen and stopping is what's creating more and more and more success.
I had a woman ask me one time, she goes, what's your spirit animal? And without anybody who knows me knows this. But, there's two, but the first one is the only one. And when I say it, they make sense. I said, a honey badger. And she's like, she said, a honey badger. She said, most guys say tigers or lions. I'm like, first of all, I'm not a lion. Lions sleep all day. They protect and they offer provisions and everything. But
they're lazy.
They're lazy as hell. People be trying to defend lions, like male lions. I'm like, no, I don't want the girl getting my stuff and everything. And, I'll blow her back out when I need to. No, I'm good. I do respect tigers more because they hunt alone. They don't need their friends.
Yeah.
But a honey badger is the most fearless animal on the fucking planet.
And they're ferocious.
You can Google it. They're ferocious. You can Google it right now. Honey badger going against 7-8 lions. When I tell you no fear, the amount of they have so little fear that the lions actually fear their fearlessness. Mm-hmm. They're like, why isn't this thing scared? And they get confused. It makes them scared. Mm-hmm. And that's the power and courage. That's the power in being fearlessness and going for it. Like you said, I'm attacking the fashion industry. I don't got no big machine behind me, no big investors. I just got God, me, my partner, my grandmother.
And who taught you how to do the fashion side?
I want to give a shout out to, that was collective. My mother, shout out to Angela Green. That's my mom. She's always, she used to always do the big hair and then the pencil skirt. Like she was always fly. She looked like Audrey Hepburn or something, and my grandmother is the one that final, the details. Like we'd always remember back in the 2000s, we did the T-shirt under the sweatshirt.
Yeah,
but
the white shirt,
right?
underneath.
The sweatshirt would be clean.
Yeah,
but then it was crinkly and dirty. She's like, no, you want to make sure that's fresh too. Yeah. And just like highlighting the details. And as I got older and started traveling, I'm like, you know what? Taking more chances with colors and textures and, but definitely traveling helped a lot too.
So what does the identification in, we'll say, other men's fashion let you know about who they might be?
Oh, that's easy. It goes back to, you are what you wear. As a man, I told one of my buddies, we went out and he had basketball shorts on. I said, yo, you're not allowed to be in my presence right now. You got basketball shorts. You didn't come from the court, for sure. You don't even play ball. Why do you own those basketball shorts?
Yep.
You're only going to hate me when we go around town and you got basketball shorts, because the place we're going, those are not allowed.
And you may not be able to get in.
Right. He had basketball shorts on. I'm very open-minded because I'm a designer, but I just got some no's that you lose credibility automatically. If you got Crocs on in public and there's human beings around available to see you, it's just, there's some non-negotiables. That's one of them.
I'm glad somebody said it. Dude, Crocs are prison shoes, and they are making us comfortable and enslaving our brain to a prison.
Yep.
Like, this dude's got amazing shoes on. I have amazing shoes on.
Absolutely.
And people instantly look at your shoes and make a decision about who you are. Are they clean? Are they dirty? Do they look good? Do they flow with your clothes? Like, people don't look at you straight in the eye first. They start at the bottom and work their way up.
I got a small chapter. It's not even a chapter. It's like an interlude that a woman can tell in the first, I think, 12 or 15 seconds. She's decided if she's willing to sleep with you, marry you, or just befriend you or know you altogether based off your shoes alone.
Oh, snaps.
And every woman that's read my book that's told me was like, that part stood out to them. They were like, wow, it made them see it. And I learned that from my grandmother. Yeah. It's real. Shoes is everything. Some people think, oh, just comfort. Yeah, you're going to comfort your way right out of an opportunity that can save your life or change your life forever.
And now in 2024, we can make shoes comfortable. Like, we can do that easily by putting some insoles in it.
Yeah.
Like, I've got, $1,300 shoes on right now.
Which are beautiful too.
That aren't necessarily comfortable.
Right. Well, it's funny you have shout. I'm not trying to throw him under the train, but he know what he got on, so it's intentional. He got on some Louboutins right now, right? Louboutin. He got a cold quote about comfort. Did you hear it?
No, please tell me.
He was on a runway, one of the show, I think Paris Fashion Week. This was like maybe 5 years ago, or the video that I saw. And they said, yeah, you're getting a lot of drawbacks, a lot of criticism from the red bottom shoes. Women are complaining about their heels. They're getting blisters. And he goes, but it was such a matter of fact response. He's like, I'm a designer. I don't make shoes for comfort. You want comfort? Go to 9 West or pay less. I don't make shoes for comfort. Yeah. You want to look good? You get my shoes. Yeah. And it was like the illest response, because it was just so like, get away from me, you pet. I'm not here for your comfort. Right.
We're not here to appease other people. However, I will have to say that my loafers, my spike loafers that I speak in on stage, they're the most comfortable loafers that I have. And I've got Gucci and I've got Prada and I've got some other ones that are expensive, but those Louis Vuittons are the most expensive and the most comfortable.
Oh, yeah. So you got a winner. If you get comfortable, is always, as a designer and then you as a man of prestige, comfort is like secondary. If I look good, it's going to make me feel good. That in itself provides comfort. Right. I don't need the physical realm of comfort. I can just get a woman to massage my feet.
Right. And going to the gym, that's not comfortable. But what is comfortable, when I've dedicated myself to doing the reps, I take my clothes off and I look good and feel great naked.
Of course. Of course.
most confident in that opportunity when I'm at my most vulnerable situation.
Of course. And we've been trained by law to feel ashamed, you know, of our own nudity, of being ashamed of our actual skin. Like, this is your frame. This is how you represent yourself in this physical realm, you know, in this spiritual experience. But in this physical realm we are in, we're taught, and we're predispositioned to believe that there's shame in our own nudity.
Well, I think there is some of it that's warranted, though.
Some.
And when you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing to take care of yourself in the best sense, and that doesn't mean going out and getting drunk and doing those things that feel good in the moment, but to actually eat good food that's not fast food, to go and train and not sit on the couch, to hold yourself accountable to a higher standard in your flesh. When you're looking in the mirror, you are your most confident because you know that there's no imposter syndrome. You have been doing exactly what you needed to do.
You're doing the work
to be the man that you want to be remembered as.
You're doing the work for sure.
So if there was one thing that you want to tell the men out there on what they could do, something simple to have a better outcome in their life, what would it be?
Just take control of your life. Am I looking here?
Right where the red light.
Yeah. Take control of your life. You know, do the work, elevate yourself. Because I got a lot of people think I'm a matchmaker. I wouldn't say that. I'm a master in dating. I'm a master in the human relationship. But for me, what works for me it will work for you, but you have to do the work that I do. You know, Jim Rohn says something, Bob Proctor, I don't want to misquote. He said, I can't give you what I have because you're holding on to too much of what you have. And sometimes we have to be willing to I think true knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is being able to be open-minded and forfeiting all your principles. If they're not serving you to the highest level, sometimes letting the ego and say, hey, you know what? It's not working my way. And sometimes as a man to elevate, I had to do that as well. I had to say, man, I had a lot of people in my life, a lot of things that was a habit that I was just doing, and I was harming myself. I was keeping people around myself that was poisonous, and you got to make hard decisions. As a man to really elevate, you have to do that. Women will be naturally attracted to you when you're attracted to yourself.
And so if they want to contact you and they want to get to know you a little bit better because they believe that you could be a benefit in their life, how would they get a hold of you?
They would get a hold of me. First of all, my website is fruitfulrooster.com. FRUITFUL rooster. You should be able to spell that, .com. Instagram, you can just search my name, Charles Kellam, last name Kellam. You go, my handle is The Human Mannequin. So yeah, we're doing some good things.
Or you can look down in the description because I'm going to put all that information for you. And I want to thank you, Charles, for being on this show. And I look forward to the things that we do in the future, because I can guarantee you out there that he and I will be up on a stage looking fly as ever.
Yeah.
And I probably be wearing his clothes because this dude's as badass as it gets. And I want to thank you out there for being on this show, to watching it, to hopefully finding out some information that you can do something different and better with your life. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button. And thank you for watching the Man Up and Own It show, where we tell the stories of men like Charles and the difficulties that they've gone through and how they've overcome it to help you get a better outcome in your life.